Let's give it up. Let me hear some Philadelphia love for this city. I am so glad that Netroots is back, bringing together 3,000 people from around the nation to this wonderful city because we all believe that Netroots can be our political home and family. I've been thinking a lot about the power of home and family as we face these authoritarian times. As a daughter of immigrants, my mom taught me early on that home is what you build and family is who you bring in. And I found my home and family among Philadelphia's Asian American and immigrant community organizers, whom I ask that we honor, especially today as we sit in this convention center. Because this great hall where we are gathered right now was once Chinatown. Chinatown lost half of its land and a third of its housing to this building. And over 3 decades, this community, like so many others, fought so-called development from highways to shopping centers to the half-baked schemes of elected officials and billionaires. And so we taught our children a few basic traditions. My children grew up knowing a few things. It's lion dance, dokguk, fireworks at midnight on New Year's Eve, and you pick up a sign and you march when your community comes under attack. In 2024, when the billionaire owners of the Sixers basketball team felt emboldened to demand a brand new sports arena in Chinatown and lined up $50 million in lobbyists to peddle their scheme, and when they came to Chinatown with their wheeling and dealing to ask how much would it cost to buy them out, how much for a CBA, Chinatown had one answer: it's priceless. So from Philly to Minneapolis, from college campuses to Collegetown County, South Carolina, the fights against authoritarianism, the whims of billionaires, and for all of our priceless communities is going to be local. Listening to Wintana Malekin and Minister Amari at last night's keynote was a deep reminder that while there is so clearly an authoritarian playbook out there, built off the exploitation and harm to Black, brown, immigrant bodies and lives, the counter to it lies in our ability to nurture a creative resistance and leverage long-cultivated relationships no money can buy and hasn't yet been written. Philadelphia, steeped in a tradition of organizers, coalitions, and communities, is helping lead that charge to anchor this fragile democracy in our homes and our families, to demand new policies, focus on how people live, and to change the trajectory of what is politically possible. It's Black mothers, fathers, and caretakers from Lift Every Voice who created a joy campaign that ensured recess and bathroom access for every Philadelphia child. It is the hotel and hospitality workers of Unite Here, many of whom are immigrants, who are demanding the right to a union, fair wages, and health care. And I ask every one of us to meet downstairs in the lobby right after this session to join them in a demonstration. When our movements are strong, our politics are too. I was the first WFP-endorsed candidate to win a seat on City Council after the formation of the Working Families Party of Pennsylvania. 4 years later, I proudly endorsed my colleague Kendra Brooks because that's how you grow a family. And since Netroots was last here in 2019, WFP candidates Kendra Brooks and Nicholas O'Rourke have replaced all the at-large Republicans on our City Council. Nikhil Saval became the first DSA elected to the Pennsylvania Senate, with Rick Krajewski, Andre Carroll, Elizabeth Fiedler, and more in the State House of Representatives. Larry Krasner has won his 3rd term as district attorney. Chris Rabb is headed to the House of Representatives. And believe us when we say that this city will anchor the fight for a certain Senate seat in 2028. Communities have always shaped our politics. So maybe let's shift our understanding that when DC has become noise, a county commission meeting can be agency. That maybe a speech against AI data centers by the residents of Colleton County, South Carolina, can carry more weight than a Senate floor speech explaining why nothing can ever change. And that enough college students and faculty members putting everything on the line To speak out against a genocide can shift public opinion as much as AIPAC donates to buy one. So it's no wonder authoritarians hate community, because nothing messes up an authoritarian playbook more than a local communities fighting for our families and a place to call home. Telling us who belongs and doesn't, what our children don't deserve, what our elders don't need and can't have, and what can't be done is the wrong thing to say to people like us. The new democratic order that we are building believes in universal childcare, in funded public schools, free transit, healthcare, and truly affordable housing. The new democratic order we are building will invest in and protect our natural resource and won't sacrifice our planet to those AI data centers, mass detention facilities, and shrines to billionaires. The new democratic order that we are growing centers racial justice, trans rights, and we will always remain a proud nation of immigrants, and we will abolish ICE. A new democratic order won't put one more dime towards the genocide and endless wars. As my colleague Tariq Habash from A New Policy wrote, we cannot look away, because the world that we tolerate for others will be the world we ultimately inhabit ourselves. Our new democratic order will not wait, because if the history of this convention center on stolen land has something to teach us, it is that we must be bold and fearless about making change whenever we have a chance to do so. Thank you very much, Netroots. We'll see you soon.
Please give a warm Netroots welcome to the General Secretary of the American Friends Service Committee, Joyce Ajluni.
Hello, Netroots. I can't see anybody, but I know you're there. Welcome to Philadelphia, and welcome to Quakerdom. This is where the Quakers have started in the U.S. And so, and as you know, I represent a Quaker organization. I love the energy, and I love being here. Thanks for inviting me. It's truly an honor to be in a room where people don't need convincing that the stakes are real. We all know that the scale of moral fracture, rising repression, and the speed in which it's unfolding is unprecedented in our lifetime. And such moments test our strategies. They test our assumptions about what is possible. And many of us in this room have dedicated our lives toward building a more just and equitable world. But our challenge today is not to just work harder, but to show up differently. So I lead the American Friends Service Committee, AFSC. We are a 109-year-old Quaker peace and social justice organization. We work in the US and we work globally as well. And we are headquartered just literally across the street, 2-minute walk. And for over a century, we have learned a few things about keeping eyes forward. And I'd like to summarize those lessons to you with 3 simple principles. I'm calling them that we speak, we refuse, and we persist. We speak, we refuse, and we persist. So what does it mean that we speak? It means that we speak truth, because words matter. When our communities are under attack, we stand with them. When genocide is happening, we say so. When there's racism, we say so. Not selectively, not when it's convenient, but because our principles are not conditional. And yes, speaking truth does come with a cost. Lost funding, distortion, being maligned and mislabeled. But we do it anyway, because our values demand it, and because people's lives depend on it. So AFSC has worked in Palestine for over 75 years. We went there after the Nakba in 1948, and we set up humanitarian relief aid for Gaza, and we've been there ever since. We've done humanitarian work, accompaniment, and we have a strong US-based advocacy program, all rooted in dignity, in justice, and nonviolent resistance. And for the last 2.5 years, our staff in Gaza have continued to work amid a continued genocide perpetrated by Israel and funded by the United States, by our tax dollars. Our staff continue to provide food, water, they do trauma healing services, they provide education activities to children living through the unthinkable. Their family members have been killed. Their homes, schools, and hospitals have been destroyed. Their lives, their dreams, they have been decimated. I look at when I get them online, I see how much weight they've lost. But they refuse dehumanization. So while my colleagues in Gaza go out every day to help their communities survive this unimaginable situation, our responsibility here in the US, especially because our government is complicit, is to do them justice by refusing to be silenced and name what is happening. It is genocide. So courage is what you do when you know the truth. It's naming the oppressor clearly, without exceptions. The second principle, we need to be willing to act, but also willing to refuse. AFSC was born from an act of refusal. We were founded by Quakers who refused to fight in World War I. But they did not just refuse to fight. Some of them went to Europe and they drove ambulances and rebuilt homes. Others went to jail because they don't want to compromise their principles. So Quakers believe in pacifism, but certainly not passivity. So today, we refuse to cooperate with harmful policies. We take risks. We boycott. We divest. We offer sanctuary. We physically stand with those at risk. And we litigate in courts. I have been particularly inspired this year by the courageous actions of our staff and thousands of others who refused to accept Trump's administration's campaign of mass detention and deportation. AFSC staff are helping communities build protection networks. No more policy change work, at least there's no policy to change these days. So we've pivoted to protection, to a build, protect, and persist model. Protection networks, we run Know Your Rights trainings, engage in nonviolent civil disobedience. AFSC has a policy for civil disobedience. We encourage our staff and our board to pursue civil disobedience, of course, in a responsible way. We want their safety. But we also are trying new things, as I said, because the moment is asking us to do new things. As of late, we started doing direct support for immigrants with respect to sort of supporting bond funds or cash assistance to immigrants, things that we haven't done before. And so we are trying new things because the moment is asking us to. And we are seeing results. In New Hampshire, we helped stop an ICE detention center from opening. And in New York, we pressured the hospital system to drop their contract with Palantir. And in New Jersey, these days, we have been protesting, advocating, and doing everything in our power to support the courageous labor and hunger strikers detained at Delaney Hall. Because we know that human beings belong in communities and not in cages. My third principle is about persistence. Persistence matters, and so does power. AFSC has learned that real change takes time. I think we all know that. It's built through relationships strong enough to withstand repression, fatigue, backlash. So we don't parachute in and out of communities. We stay until justice is done. From New Mexico to New Hampshire to North Korea, believe it or not, to Palestine, Zimbabwe, Guatemala. We do this work for the long term, quietly, building power, building trust. That is the foundation of true solidarity. And we also learned that we need to go beyond the sometimes cliche, we need to center the voices of the oppressed people. Yeah, we sure do, but that's not enough. We need to shift who leads and whose knowledge counts. This means moving power and resources. So those living the consequences are shaping strategy, they are making decisions, and are leading the work. As a Palestinian American and a Quaker myself, these commitments are not only professional, they are deeply personal. They come from a reality of living under military occupation, a belligerent apartheid system, felt in my bones every day. I grew up in Palestine. And from a spiritual conviction, my Quaker faith, that compels me to act. But I see these principles lived out by people all over the world who don't have that luxury of waiting. In a time shaped by fear and division, our task is to show up differently, more creatively, take more risks with courage, with integrity, and a commitment to one another. We need each other. We don't each have to do everything, but each of us has to do something, because history will not only remember what was done to people, it will remember who spoke, it will remember who refused, and it will remember who stayed. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Reggie Hubbard, C.C. Battle, and okay. Please welcome Minority Leader of the Philadelphia City Council and the first Working Families Party member ever elected to the City Council, Kendra Brooks.
Hello, Netroots, how are you? You see, I had a little moment, they almost lost my shoe. Well, I hope everyone had an opportunity to enjoy some water ice, some pretzels, and some Philly cheesesteaks while you've been here. Okay. Well, as a Philly native, I wanted to spend some time talking about what it means to be from a city like this one. A city where luxury towers rise, while just last month a house collapsed in my neighborhood and left a family homeless. A city where billion-dollar arenas move faster than basic repairs for working people. A city where some neighborhoods are treated as worthy of investments and others are expected to survive abandonment. And yet, despite all of that, this city is still full of people who fight for each other. If you only understand Philly through politics, you miss the whole story. You miss the grandmothers holding neighborhoods together. You miss the organizers translating policy into language people can use to survive. You miss the mothers who hold multi-generational households together. You miss the way people in this city still check on each other, organize each other, and carry each other. When I first ran for office, I said proudly that I am not a politician. I still mean that. I'm a working class Black woman from North Philadelphia. I'm a mother. I am an educator, organizer, committed to seeing real change led by the people closest to the pain. And I understand, and I stand before you today because organizing and movement building changed my life. In 2011, when Governor Corbett cut $1 billion from public education, I lost my job, like thousands of workers across the state. Around the same time, I lost my home to share a cell during a period when Black families across Philadelphia were losing generational wealth while speculators circled the neighborhoods waiting for profit like vultures. And while all that was happening, the city was preparing to close my children's school as well. Sometimes when people hear stories like mine, they hear individual hardship. I hear policy violence. I hear what happens when government abandons its responsibility for working people. I hear what happens when austerity becomes common sense. None of what I experienced was random. And too often, communities like mine are expected to accept it. But we didn't. I organized, thank you for that. I organized alongside other parents at Edward T. Still Elementary, and against all odds, we won the fight to keep our school public. And I need y'all to understand what that actually looked like. It looked like parents showing up to meetings after double shifts, elders making food so people can stay late and strategize, children standing at microphones explaining why their school mattered, regular people learning policy language in real time because they understood nobody was coming to save us. That fight changed me, because once you experience what ordinary people can do together, you stop accepting the unacceptable. And that fight didn't change me. It changed this city. That organizing eventually led to me becoming the first ever Working Families Party elected to Philadelphia City Council. And I say that not because this story is about me. I say it because it shows what becomes possible when ordinary people stop seeing themselves as spectators to political life and start building power together. That did not happen because powerful people suddenly developed better values. It happened because organized communities forced the issue. That's collective action. That's courage. And I stand for you today. I can't help but think back to the time Netroots was in Philly. That was during my first campaign. I ran around this convention trying to introduce myself to so many people as possible. So 7 years later, being asked to kick off today's session as a featured speaker is a testament to that organizing, and just how far we've come. And I want to remind you all, this is the moment for courage, the moment to double down on community, collective action, and the belief that ordinary people still have the power to shape this country. The belief in each other. Because any student of history knows there has never been one Messiah figure that changed the country alone. There has never been one leader behind every major movement where communities were organizing together, building trust, developing other leaders, and sacrificing for one another, and believing that ordinary lives are worth fighting for. That's why we're here. That's the story of labor rights. That's the story of civil rights. That's the story of public education. The story of every expansion of this democracy, what we have ever experienced. And it's still true right here in Philadelphia. Communities continue to organize, continue to build, and continue to win. Fathers shared with me what it was like to work every day afraid of ICE, that ICE would pick them up on their way from home. Mothers shared what it felt like to demand wages that had already been earned and face retaliation for speaking up. The new generation of leadership is beginning to take root and completely reshaping how power works in this city. These stories matter, not because they reveal harm, but because each one contains the possibility of collective action that we take together. They show us what organized communities can accomplish. Here in Philadelphia, immigrant communities organizing with PIC won some of the strongest protections against ICE collaboration in the country. Domestic workers organizing for Domestic Workers Alliance and the Black Workers Project helped win some of the stronger worker protections in this city. And just 2 weeks ago, a powerful coalition of organizations, including ones like WFP, 1PA, DSA, and so many others, helped us propel Representative Chris Rabb to a historic victory. Those kinds of changes, those types of wins, actually change people. They change communities. And eventually you saw Rep. Rabb's victory begin to change this country. And I want to be clear, none of this happens because any individual politician acted alone. These wins were possible because communities built enough organized power to move government differently. Because organizers, residents, movement groups, and elected officials work together instead of operating in silos. Grassroots organizations are where people learn to speak publicly for the first time, how to understand policy, how to advocate for their communities, and how to believe that they deserve power too. Conferences like this one, Netroots, give us the space to share those stories and learn from each other on how to build power differently. I'm standing here today because Working Families Party was invested in building power differently. And there are organizers and movement-building organizations across this city that are doing it right now. So when you leave Philadelphia, I want you to leave more committed than what you came. I want you fired up enough to go back and recommit to the type of ground-up party building that WFP is doing. I strongly ask for you to find your political home and commit to building power from the ground up, not retreat from it. Not water down your values because of political wins and how they shift. I want you to double down because when ordinary people have resources, trust, and room to lead, they do extraordinary things. And I know that because I lived it. So go out and do extraordinary things. Thank you so very much.
And now, please settle in for a moment of wellness presented by the Netroots We Lounge. Please welcome Reggie Hubbard, CC Battle, and Rebecca Bernard.
Peace be with you, Netroots Nation. I've been on this stage before. You know I don't respond well to that. Peace be with you, Netroots Nation.
Yeah.
Peace be with you, Netroots Nation. Give me something, baby. Right, what type of wellness is this? You can't call and respond? Let me get off the soapbox. So Reggie Hubbard here with CC Battles and Rebecca Bernard representing the We Sanctuary, which is room 117, a centerpiece of wellness in the chaos of the conference.
Hey.
And we represent peace, possibility, and playfulness. And so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna celebrate peace by, for those of you that wanted to come to yoga this morning or wanted to come tomorrow and ain't gonna come at 7:45, I'm gonna bring that to you here and now, right? So move your shoulders a little bit. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Peace can be that simple. Without further ado, Cece's gonna lay her magic on you.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Hey, y'all.
hey,
Right.
Cece.
It's time to make things a little frolicky. Who here likes to frolic? We're gonna do a really fun game of extreme rock, paper, scissors.
I think we gotta be in the.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know you're like, ooh, I'm a competitive
Oh, yeah,
person.
yeah.
Yes, this is all about fun.
okay.
So, if you're willing and if you're able, if you could stand up really quick, take a quick stand. We're gonna do this together. Stand up, stand up,
Stretch.
stand up.
She means it.
Yeah, I do mean it. Yep, stand up.
That's all
the
of you.
way
Come
up.
on.
This is
All the
Got
way
it.
up.
So we're to play.
Now,
Get up, stand up.
before we start, because all y'all like to play games differently, I'm gonna go over the rules, okay? With my two co-facilitators. Okay, everyone, let me see a rock. Rock, not this, rock, okay? What's paper? Paper, okay? Scissors, and then shoot. Now, we're gonna demonstrate real quick. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So in a case that you both have the same thing, what do you need to do?
Shoot again.
Go again. Okay, one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. We're two in harmony. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay. So rock beats what? Scissors beats what?
Paper.
And paper beats what? Okay, now it's time to make it extreme. This is what we're gonna do. You're going to find a partner. You're gonna play them. Whoever loses becomes the hype person of the winner, right? And we're gonna keep playing it until there's two big hype groups, hyping up two people. Again, you're going to find a partner, play the game. Whoever loses that game becomes the hype person for the winner, and you keep going. Then y'all find another squad and find another squad, okay? We're practicing a little possibility here. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, find a partner right now. You can introduce yourself if you want to make it cute. Find them, and I will count you in. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, and rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Keep going, keep going. Okay, okay,
All right, we got some theme
right.
music.
okay, I see.
Keep it going.
I don't hear some hype.
Good.
Where's the hype people?
Get a new challenger. Let's go. Mix it up,
If
Netroots.
they win, you gotta hype them up. Go to the next
Right.
person.
That's right. Make your way around the room. Find a different squad.
This is
Oh,
how
yeah,
we
this
build
group is
coalition, right?
They got a huddle going on over here, Cece.
All right.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I see some winners over there. Where? I don't
on,
hear the
hype
hype
people.
squads. Where are the hype squads?
Where y'all at? We want to hear you. Okay, in the back.
Uh-oh, I hear some hyping back there.
Right?
Yes.
Clearly, I wasn't paying attention.
There we go. Uh-oh, I see some dancing. Okay.
Okay.
Is it a conga line in the back? What's happening?
Yes. Oh,
All right.
okay.
All right.
All right, there's a big squad. Keep going.
Lively now. It's sounding lively.
Okay,
Woo! All right, in the front.
look at this battle over
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
There's some big squads over there.
over here.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Hey,
Yeah, uh-oh.
All right.
Is that a team chant emerging?
It looks like it.
It looks
It
like
looks
it.
like it. Okay.
Okay, okay.
What's going on?
feel like we got three. We got three.
It looks like we have 3 squads. Uh-oh.
Okay.
When you get down to 2
Champion.
squads, don't
All
start.
right.
We want to see it.
Uh-oh. It's a battle off.
Okay, how many
Squad
winners
one
do
and
we have? I see one winner right here. Is there another winner back there?
All right.
Wait. It looks like there's 3.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's getting hot now.
Oh,
Hey, who won it?
Wait, who's the
Let's hear
winner?
it for that.
Wait, there's one more in the back. There's one more in the
Yeah.
back.
Lord.
I think this is the last round, y'all.
All right. Let's see it, squad, and whoever wins better cheer real loud.
And for those of you that aren't
It looks
playing,
like, is this the
celebrate.
last? Is this
Noise.
the show off?
Right, yeah.
Wait, before you start. Wait. Before you
the final
start.
battle.
Hold on.
Time out.
Time out. Hold on. The last two. We need you up front right here.
In the
We
front.
need you up front right here. The last 2 folks. I know whoever the last 2 was, we want them
Yeah,
right up
you
here.
won, but who did you?
We can't see you. Who won? Is there a winner?
Who's the winner?
Who's the winner?
Where's your hype squad? Come on, hype.
Where's your hype squad? Where's the hype squad? Woo! I want everyone to give yourselves a round of applause.
Absolutely.
Give our window a round of applause. And as you can see, as you make your way back to your lovely seats, ooh, did that feel good, y'all? Doesn't it feel good to frolic, to play a little bit? Let this be a reminder that our work deserves embodiment.
Right.
And with play, there's different outcomes, different possibilities available to us. And when one person loses, if we become the hype men, then we all win. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sound good? Yeah. All right, to close us off, I'm gonna toss it to my girl, Rebecca Bernard.
Yeah.
Cece.
Thank you, Cece.
Welcome.
Wow, that was fun, right? Who had fun? Can I see some tinkles of some hands? Yeah. Our well-being looks joyful.
Yes,
Our well-being looks celebratory.
yes.
Let's just get grounded for a second. If you can hear me, roll your shoulders. Remember to breathe. If you can hear me, reach up to the sky. Stretch those arms up. And if you can hear me, make a noisy out breath. Thank you, Maestro.
Hell yeah.
Leave it to Reggie. Y'all, it takes 6 minutes of intentional breath, movement, and sound to bring your nervous system online. 6 minutes. That's all you need. Intentional breath, movement, and sound. A lot of times in this work we hear, I don't have time to stop. I don't have time to be well. I'm busy doing this work. Can you turn to your neighbor right now and let them know that wellness is my birthright?
Wellness is my birthright. Okay?
Okay.
If you are not well, I am not well.
If
you
you're
are
not well, I am not well.
It is not optional. Our well-being is not optional, y'all. We will not sustain this fight if we do not, number one, take care of ourselves.
Period.
But more importantly, take care of each other.
Period. Exclamation point.
Can we get a commitment to collective well-being in the room? Who wants everybody to be well? I do. I want you all to be well. And that's the spirit of possibility, play, and peace that we want to bring to you today. We are in room 117 all day today and tomorrow. At 1 o'clock, we're talking about sustainability in this work. At 2:30, that's me. 2:30, my girl Cece is going to be teaching you how to blend herbs for your physical well-being. At 3 o'clock, we have a sound bath with Sonia Span, and just online, the Grand Maestro, Reggie, will be doing an end-of-the-day wrap down at 5 o'clock. If you need any 2 minutes, 3 minutes, come see us. We have plenty of possibilities for you to just sensory tone down, get recharged so you can walk back into these sessions, into these work with your alert brain, with your grounded and centered body, and an open and receiving spirit.
Playful.
Okay?
All right.
We are the We Sanctuary, y'all. Thank you to Netroots for making this an intentional part of this experience.
Right.
And we can't wait to play with you. Come see us in the We Sanctuary, room 117.
117.
y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Right on.
This way, y'all.
Oh, this way.
The youngest lieutenant governor in the country and the first black lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania history. Please welcome Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis.
Hello, Netroots Nation. Are you fired up to be in Philly? We're so happy to welcome you to the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Thank you for having me here today. You know, these last 3.5 years serving as Pennsylvania's lieutenant governor have been one of the highest honors of my life. Every single day, I've been laser focused on what really matters: our families, our communities, and the responsibilities that we have to one another. I didn't get involved in public service for a title or a spotlight. I got involved because of what I saw growing up in an aging steel town near Pittsburgh. When I was 16 years old, a man was shot on the block that I lived. I remember standing there feeling helpless. I remember my sense of safety and security being shattered. And I remember thinking that nobody should have to live in a community where they don't have the opportunity to be safe and feel safe. That no parent should have to wonder whether their child is going to make it home at night. And no family should do everything right, work hard, show up, play by the rules, and still live with that fear hanging over them. That moment has never left me. It taught me something that I carry with me every day: that the people closest to the pain should be closest to the power. That belief led me to my first city council meeting. It led me to run for office, and it's what drives me to this very day. But now I'm even more clear-eyed in this moment, not only because of the attacks we're seeing from Donald Trump and his enablers in Washington, but because I became a father to my beautiful daughter, Harper, during my first year in office. Everything I do is about building a Pennsylvania that's worthy of her future, a Pennsylvania that is safer, fairer, and more hopeful than the one that I inherited. And that's not just my promise to my daughter, it's my promise to every child in this Commonwealth. As the proud son of a union bus driver and a hairdresser, I know what it's like to grow up in a family that had to get creative to make ends meet. I was proud to grow up in a working class community and a working class family, where I learned what community meant. That it's about looking out for one another. That safety, opportunity, and a fair shot at life should never depend on your zip code or how you grew up. And that we have a responsibility to show up, to give back, and to fight for one another. That's why I chose to step forward, and that's why I've stayed in this fight. I'm proud of the progress we've made for the people in this Commonwealth. We've tripled the child care tax credit, putting real money back into the pockets of working families. We've worked to ensure that Pennsylvania kids have access to great schools no matter their zip code. Since taking office, we've increased public education funding by nearly $3 billion, driving funding to the schools that need it the most and making sure that students have every opportunity to succeed. You can applaud for Pennsylvania's kids. But I know that in order to be able to succeed and to live their American dream, Pennsylvanians need to feel safe and be safe in their communities. So we've taken action to address violence in our communities by restoring the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, funding community-based organizations that are doing the work, and we invested in after-school programs, not only to keep our kids off the street, but to give them a safe place to go and a sense of community. I believe that every Pennsylvanian should have the dignity and security that comes with a safe and affordable place to call home. So we launched Pennsylvania's first ever comprehensive housing action plan to increase housing supply, improve home quality, address homelessness, and grow local economies, making the dream of owning a home more attainable and more affordable. We've accomplished a lot in these past 3.5 years, but we can't ignore what's happening around us and in Washington, D.C. We're watching prices climb while the richest and most powerful pull further ahead. We're seeing families torn apart in the name of law and order, while the well-connected are given a free pass and their corruption goes unchecked. And attacks on our Constitution and our democracy are seen as routine and brushed off instead of confronted. Let me be clear, I will always stand up and be the voice for the voiceless, and we're going to keep protecting Pennsylvania. We're going to use our power to halt the plans for the proposed ICE warehouse detention centers in Berks and Schuylkill counties from moving forward. Because our immigrant communities shouldn't have to live in fear of going to work, seeking medical care, picking up their kids from school, and we'll make sure that Pennsylvania will continue to have free and fair, safe and secure elections, despite the calculated national effort to diminish Black and brown voices and access to fair representation. It's the voices like Dr. King and countless others, activists, organizers, and everyday Americans whose sacrifices pave the way for people like me to even stand here today. I owe it to their legacy to build on their progress here in Pennsylvania so that all Pennsylvanians, no matter what they look like, where they come from, who they love, or how they worship, belong and deserve the rights afforded to them by the Constitution. That's why the stakes of this midterm elections could not be higher. The balance of Congress can be determined right here in Pennsylvania. With 4 competitive congressional seats at play, Pennsylvanians have the power to send leaders to Washington who will deliver for families and stand up to Donald Trump and his chaos. And here at home, Pennsylvanians have the power to not only re-elect me to office, but to win a trifecta in Harrisburg. By retaining the House and for the first time flipping the Pennsylvania State Senate, we have the opportunity to finally raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour here in Pennsylvania. We have the opportunity to make the dream of owning a home more attainable. And we have the opportunity to enshrine protections for our LGBTQ neighbors and so much more. Together with your voices and your votes, we can make all of that a reality. Now more than ever is the time for us to get off the sidelines, to get in the game, and to do our part. Come November, voters here and across this country have the opportunity to send a clear message to Donald Trump by rejecting his chaos and confusion. We can't and won't let this moment pass us by, and you have my promise, I'm going to be on the front lines to build a better Pennsylvania and a better America for all of us. Let's get to work, Netroots Nation. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us. Please make your way to the lobby to join our friends from Unite here on the picket line. We'll see you back this afternoon for our evening keynote at 4:15.